What if the busiest port in Europe could teach you how your everyday life is connected to global trade? Welcome to Portlantis, an immersive experience centre at the edge of the continent where shipping chaos meets cutting-edge design. Stick around as we explore the futuristic museum that brings the world's largest port to life. Before we dock into the details of Portlantis, make sure to subscribe for more updates on architectural landmarks and mega projects. The problem is when most people are asked about ports, all they can think of are shipping containers, cranes, and big noisy ships. And while that's not wrong, there's way more going on there than many of us don't know about. The port of Rotterdam is massive. In fact, it's the busiest in Europe, and it plays a huge role in how the world works. But until recently, the public didn't really have a proper way to understand what this place really does. That's where Portlantis comes in. Portlantis is a visitor centre, yes, but it has been built with the goal to explain and show the connection between Rotterdam's port and everyday life. Because the port affects your life more than you think. Chances are your phone, your groceries, and even your shoes have passed through here. This makes it exciting to learn more about this port. The idea behind Portlantis started with a question. The authorities wanted to know how to make something as big and complicated as a modern port understandable for regular people. And better yet, how do you make it interesting? So, instead of a typical boring info centre, they built something bold. Portlantis was designed as a space that tells stories. You're not just learning about the port, you're seeing it, walking through it, feeling it. What's exactly inside Portlantis? Let's find out. Well, Portlantis is not an average museum. The building itself is a show. Let's start from the outside, because even that deserves a moment. The building sits way out on the artificial land extension called Maasvlakte 2, right where Rotterdam meets the sea. It's kind of dramatic as there is the North Sea stretching out on one side, giant cargo docks and cranes on the other, and wide skies overhead that shift colour by the minute. As you walk up, a massive red staircase spirals around this stack of twisted boxes. That's what makes its structure so impressive. The whole building is made up of 5 floors, each one slightly rotated from the one below. From a distance, it looks like someone gave the whole structure a twist and then stuck a red ribbon on it. And that ribbon is your path up to the rooftop. If you look inside the ground floor, it's actually the atrium, which is 22 meters tall. You feel tiny the second you enter. A huge mirrored ceiling makes the space feel even taller. There's a giant kinetic sculpture hanging in the middle, full of shapes like chains and anchors. And right there at your feet is a full model of the Port of Rotterdam. You can stand above it and look down at all the little ships, buildings and docks. It's like a mini version of the chaos outside, but you finally get to see how everything connects. It is a great intro, especially if you're coming in with zero clue about how ports work. Now, the floors. Let's go one by one, starting with the ground floor. This level is warm and welcoming and faces west. The big square window shows the dunes just outside. It is a quiet view, kind of unexpected for a port building. There's a cafe here too, because yes, they know you will need a coffee before learning about the logistics of global trade. Once you've had your caffeine, you can head up to the first floor. This is where things get technical. This level helps you understand what the port looks like today. How cargo moves, how goods are sorted, and what kind of machines do what. There are interactive displays where you can follow the journey of something like a sneaker or a phone, from one continent across the ocean, through the port, and finally into your hands. There's a real-life chemical lab set up too. Not for actual experiments, but it shows how raw materials like oil turn into everyday products. Not only that, there's a bright orange pipe that runs through the space, cutting across exhibits and popping up with windows that show scale models of trucks and ships. So, yes, they are serious about helping you picture it all. Next up is the second floor, and this one is a bit more reflective. It zooms out to talk about how the port affects everything around it, including the city, jobs, nature, and people's lives. This is where the economic and environmental stuff comes in, but again, it is presented in a way you can actually understand. There's an exhibit that breaks down a bicycle, piece by piece, showing where every part came from and how it got assembled. On this floor, you start to realize how insanely connected the world is, as no two parts are from the same place. You'll also see some focus on nature here. Even though this is a super industrial place, there's still wildlife trying to survive nearby, like birds, fish, dunes, and sea life. There are windows on this floor that look out toward the container terminals and beyond, so you can see the scale of everything while thinking about what it means. The third level shows you what is coming next. On this floor, you learn about how Rotterdam plans to go carbon neutral by 2050, which is not a small goal. Here you will see exhibits about future technology, clean energy, and smarter ways to do business. There's a section on hydrogen, one on CO2 storage, another on electric transport, battery recycling, and even waste heat reuse, all explained simply. This could easily feel overwhelming, but thanks to the clear layout and interactive design, it doesn't. One of the highlights is that they give you an iPad and let you explore different paths the port could take in the coming decades. You get to make choices and see the outcomes. There's also a VR helicopter ride. You put on a headset and you experience flying virtually over the port. You can see the ships, cranes, water, all of it, which is a great way to wrap up the exhibition part. On the fourth floor, there's a rooftop restaurant. It fits about 150 people and gives you views in every direction. One side shows the sunset over the North Sea. The other shows the bright lights of the port at night. They have designed it so the windows open up, so it almost feels like a balcony. You're eating dinner in the skyline. And right above that is the rooftop. This part is open to the public, even if you didn't go inside. The red staircase from the outside wraps all the way up and brings you here. The view is 360 degrees. There is sea, city, port, and sky all in one frame. And on a clear day, you can see forever. It is wild how peaceful it feels, considering the action happening all around. Now, let's mention some quick facts for the detail lovers. Construction started around 2020 and wrapped in 2025. The good news is that Portlantis is now open to the public. The building was designed by MVRDV, which is a Dutch architectural firm known for its great ideas. They are the ones behind other Rotterdam icons like the Markthal and the Depot. Another great thing about this building is that it was built with sustainability in mind. It is more than energy neutral. It actually produces 30% more energy than it uses, thanks to its own wind turbine and solar panels. Not only that, the whole structure is demountable, which means it can be taken apart and reused. Even the foundation was made without deep concrete piles, so it would not leave a mark on the land if removed someday. They also used industrial, simple, and durable materials. They made sure to use recycled steel only that can handle sea salt and wind. All in all, this building is built to last, but also built to leave quietly, without a trace when its time is up. Do not think of Portlantis as just a museum. It is way more than that. Sure, there are exhibitions, but it is also a full-on education zone. They have built a space called EIC Main Port Rotterdam, which is an educational centre that welcomes school groups and students to explore the port through guided tours, workshops and fun activities. There are labs, games, interactive displays and even real-world challenges to solve. The great thing is that it is not just for schools. Companies can use the place too for meetings and events, etc. So yes, it is part museum, part event space, part everything. So, Portlantis is much more than just a museum. It's a bold, interactive space that brings the world's busiest port to life in a way we've never seen before. With its stunning architecture, immersive exhibits, and sustainable design, it's a great example of how we can connect the public with the global trade systems that shape our everyday lives. Would you like to visit someday? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to see more cutting-edge architectural projects like this, don't forget to subscribe to Design Zip for more updates on the world's most fascinating buildings and mega projects. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.